Okay, let's quickly look at that problem and complete its solution today. You might want to do the calculations here. Right here, I want you to check the answer. So, the problem was in a gas liquid contactor. In a gas liquid contactor, a pure gas is absorbed in a solvent, and the penetration theory provides a reasonable model by which to describe the transfer mechanism. As fresh solvent is exposed to the gas, the transfer rate is initially limited by the rate at which the gas molecules can reach the surface. If at 293 Kelvin and a pressure of 1 bar, the maximum possible rate of transfer of gas is 50 meter cube per meter square per second. Express this as an equivalent resistance when the gas solubility is 0.04 kmol per meter cube. If the diffusivity in the liquid phase is 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 9 meter square per second, at what time after the initial exposure will the resistance attributable to access of gas be equal to 10% of the total resistance to transfer? So, we discussed this at length. I explained to you the physical picture. Pure gas and fresh solvent will mean the profiles will be horizontal to begin with. So, at time less than 0, the gas phase concentration is uniform in the bulk of gas right up to the interface, and within the liquid the concentration will be 0 even at interface at time less than 0. At time equal to 0, suddenly the interface jumps to the saturation concentration. This is liquid, this is gas, and the initial concentration in the gas is, because it is a pure gas, uniform. In the liquid it is 0, and at time 0 suddenly the interface concentration in the liquid phase jumps to some Ca star, let us say. It means initially the gradient here is infinite. So, the liquid phase has the capability to carry away infinite flux of A. If infinite moles of A could arrive per area per time at the interface, liquid has the capability to carry it all into the liquid, but it is not infinite, because even in a pure gas there is a self collisional barrier. So, and molecular velocities are finite. So, we cannot have infinite supply to the interface from within the bulk of gas, right. See, gas is a rare medium, and therefore, the number of collisions the gas molecules can have with each other per time will be much smaller than in liquid. So, if you view from the collisional barrier perspective, the gas will have much smaller collisional barrier compared to liquid. Yeah, that condensed phases will have very high collisional barrier, liquids, because gas is, remember, gas is a rare medium, the density is so small, number concentration of molecules whether of a single kind or mixture is immaterial, unless of course you compress it so much that you are coming close to the critical point. Okay. Then the densities can be exceedingly high, you can have sizable collisional barrier, right. But in general the gases will be offering much lesser resistance, and if you have pure gas, then that resistance will be minimal. And here our objective was to assess the resistance within the gas and the resistance within the liquid in some sense. We did not want to take a blanket rule that if it is a pure gas in contact with the liquid, you can always neglect the gas phase resistance. For low concentrations and no reactions accompanying, generally we can neglect it. If low concentration of the solute is there in gas phase, but reaction accompanying, the diffusion in liquid is very rapid, then perhaps the gas phase resistance could be significant. I wanted to demonstrate this point that for pure gases practically the collisional barrier or resistance offered by the gas is almost always negligible. But that does not mean that over no time scale that could be important. Even if it is practically unimportant, theoretically it could be of some significance over a short time. If gas phase resistance can become significant if the solute concentration in gas phase is low concentrations, and reaction in the liquid phase is very rapid. Okay. Those are the conditions in which, and both together will be certainly the case where gas phase resistance cannot be neglected. Okay. So, since there is no concentration profile visible in the gas phase and that remains uniform right up to the interface, the resistance within the gas phase has to be inferred from the information given. Since we have got a finite flux of 50 meter cube per meter square per second given, it means even at time 0 when the resistance in the liquid phase is 0, infinite flux is possible for liquid. There is just not enough supply to amount to infinite flux from within the gas phase, that is limited 50 meter cube per meter square per second. And then we looked at the picture that as time progresses the concentration profile builds up inside the liquid and greater depths of liquid come into picture. This is how with increase in time the concentration will run deeper and deeper into the liquid film, and therefore, the thickness of liquid which comes into picture will be increasing. Greater the thickness of liquid involved in diffusion, greater is the resistance. So, it is clear that the liquid phase resistance starting from 0 at time 0 will rapidly increase, and it is possible that in a very short time the liquid phase resistance will be by far in excess of the resistance in the gas phase. The question is how quickly that happens. That is what the intent of this problem is, to find out over what time the resistance, say for instance in the liquid phase, will become 9 times the resistance in the gas phase, or gas phase resistance is now just 10% of the total. Okay. So, that was the gist of the problem. The problem was to find that time over which this resistance compared with the liquid phase resistance, and when we compare one thing with other, we can't compare apples with oranges. So, if we have information about apples, we have to convert it in terms of oranges. So, the resistance in the gas phase has to be found equivalent of in the liquid phase. Okay. Incidentally, that is the only way we can estimate the gas phase resistance, because there is no drop in concentration observable in the gas phase. Okay. So, what we do is we hypothesize that whatever the resistance the gas phase is offering, we imagine that that is offered by a very thin liquid film placed before even this interface, true interface, and the film thickness, that film thickness will be of such magnitude that the resistance offered by it is same as the gas phase resistance. So, if you can estimate from the given flux 50 meter cube per meter square per second in the gas phase in terms of the liquid phase driving force, which will be C A star minus 0, incidentally that is the driving force at all times, C A star here 0 at the other end, we should be able to find out that equivalent of gas phase resistance in liquid phase terms. C A star minus 0, C A star minus 0 here, here or here is the net driving force, not resistance, net driving force for diffusion in all cases. Okay. So, we use that same driving force across this additional film thickness, which would offer the same resistance as offered by the gas phase. That is where we stopped. Now, is that clear to all of you? Is there any question? Please ask. Please remember, this dotted line or dashed line is not in gas, it is in liquid. It is an additional hypothetical liquid film we will place before the actual interface, which would offer the same resistance as gas phase. So, in our this model, so to say, we can now forget about gas. Okay. This film is offering, this is entirely liquid film process. This film is offering resistance same as what is in the gas phase. Okay. The concentration at that film surface will be C star. Okay. So, now we have reduced the problem to that of comparison of liquid phase resistance actually present within the bulk here and what is equivalent of the gas phase. What is equivalent of the gas phase? Is that clear? Now, since we have been given the fact that the penetration model adequately describes the transfer mechanism, we know that the penetration model has that fixed lifetime of eddies, which we call say theta or whatever, within which transient absorption happens, and the mass transfer coefficient is given by KL equal to root dA by pi t, where t is anywhere between 0 to theta. Theta is let us say the end of lifetime of element, all elements will disappear from the interface, go into the bulk of liquid. Okay. So, we know the instantaneous mass transfer coefficient based on film theory for at this stage when the profile is this here or here, and we know that the flux is the mass transfer coefficient times the driving force, which in this case is C A star minus 0 everywhere. So, if you take C A star divided by 1 by K L, we have written it as flux which is rate equal to driving force which is C A star divided by resistance which is 1 by K L, and we know from penetration theory the expression for K L, that is root dA by pi t, is not it. So, reciprocal of dA by pi t will be the resistance, it will depend on time. As time increases, that resistance will go up, it will resistance is actually root pi t by dA, root pi t by dA. And one more thing, we are not taking average, we are taking instantaneous because we are dealing with changing resistance. So, we are dealing with instantaneous resistance, instantaneous mass transfer. We do not need average here. So, do not worry about the average. Okay. So, is that clear? Now, if this is all clear, then I will just put down the numbers, you can start checking. I hope you have your calculators, you can use mobile today, not in exams. Okay. First, find out the bulk gas concentration. I hope it is not difficult, and since this is the first time I am asking you to do the numbers with me, I repeat that rule which will help you avoid mistakes. Whenever you plug in any values in any equation, respect the dimensions or units. So, put the numbers and units together. You will avoid 50% of your mistakes by doing this. That is the cardinal rule in making even simplest calculation. Put the numbers and units together, you will appreciate everything better, plus avoid mistakes. Okay. So, what is the bulk gas concentration? You have to use the ideal gas law, pressure is atmospheric, gas is pure. So, if you use P V equal to nRT, concentration will be N by V or P by RT, or alternatively you can use the fact that 1 gram mole of gas will occupy 22.4 liters at 273 Kelvin atmospheric pressure. Here the temperature given is 293 Kelvin. So, basically you can use these numbers, 1 gram mole occupies 22.4 liters at 273 Kelvin. We want to know the concentration at 293 Kelvin. Pressure is 1 atmosphere, 1 bar 1 atmosphere. Please, all of you should do it. Even if you are very sleepy, please do it. You won't regret it. If your neighbor is sleeping, wake him up or her up, or they can as well walk out of the class, nothing lost. Wake him up, start working. I want you to determine the bulk gas concentration. It is pure gas at 293 Kelvin. So, use the ideal gas law to obtain the concentration in K mole per meter cube. 22.4 liters is for 1 atmosphere and 273 Kelvin. We want at 1 atmosphere and 293 Kelvin, simple. I urge you again, write down on a piece of paper, your notebook will do, but I want everyone to calculate, okay. So, anybody has a value, bulk gas concentration? 4 point what? Units. Units, what are the concentration units? When you say mole, then you have to be specific, G mole, K mole, you do not realize even a mole can get you wrong. If you just say mole, I will give you 0 marks. Be sure, do not be in a hurry, give the answer when you are ready and confident. 4.4 wrong, do not be in a hurry, I tell you. Even when you work out, long derivations, go slow, check every step again. In the end, you will not regret being tortoise. Having said that, it does not hurt you to be quick. So, I want you to be at your quickest but correct. You get that? Should not be afraid of making mistakes, but 0.04. Any more decimals? 1. Units? K mole per meter cube. Okay. This is correct. Is there anybody who has not calculated yet or differs from this number? In which case, one of you and I will be wrong. Now, since you know the initial flux, but that is given in volume per area per time, 50 meter cube per meter square per second, you can obtain using this gas phase concentration that flux in K mole per meter square per second, simply multiply. So, what is that value? Initial mass transfer rate, or flux. Now, you can be faster, there is only multiplication. Concentration driving force in liquid. What is the concentration driving force in liquid? What is the initial mass transfer flux? 2.08 K mole per meter square per second. Can you all read this? Is it okay? Correct? Concentration driving force in liquid. Next, Ca star minus 0, Ca star is solubility. So, that is 0.04 K mole per meter cube. What is the solubility of gas in liquid? That will be K mole of the gas dissolved in the liquid per unit volume at that temperature and pressure. This is given to you, it is directly given at the operating conditions 293 Kelvin, 0.04. Ca 0 star minus 0, that is the driving force, right. Other end of the concentration profile is at the bulk liquid concentration, which is 0, right. Now, what is the effective mass transfer coefficient initially? I repeat, our first objective is to find out the gas phase resistance in equivalent liquid phase terms. That is what we are doing, because we are given the flux from gas into the liquid initially 50 meter cube per meter square per second, right. So, we are trying to determine the initial gas phase resistance in liquid phase terms. So, you are not getting the point. The point is, within the gas phase we know the concentration, that is what we determine, calculate it. Okay. That would only help you get the flux in terms of K mole per meter square per second, that is it, please remember. All right. Now, the concentration driving force is Ca 0 star minus 0, which is the solubility itself, this value. So, can you now tell me what is that effective mass transfer coefficient initially? The given flux, when you equate it to the initial mass transfer coefficient, which is in equivalent terms, times the driving force, which is Ca star minus 0. Do you get that? Flux is equal to the mass transfer coefficient times the driving delta Ca. This delta Ca we calculated is 0.04 K mole per meter cube. all right. And this mass transfer coefficient is what we want to find. This is already calculated by us corresponding to that 50 meter cube per meter square per second. This is known. So, we can calculate this mass transfer coefficient. That would be for that hypothetical liquid film which has equivalent resistance as the gas phase. So, it is simply the ratio of this initial mass transfer rate to this which is initial driving force. We are simply putting this value here and this value over here, and we determine this. So, what is the value of that mass transfer coefficient which would describe the condition of diffusion corresponding to resistance which is only the self collisional barrier in the gas phase, 50 meter cube per meter square per second, that works. In this case, the mass transfer coefficient comes out to be initially 52 is wrong answer. I am saying it is a wrong answer. You can ask me again. And why is it wrong? Because you are only saying 52, you are not telling me the units. I do not know. I really thought that all of you are brilliant, but I never underestimated your refractoriness, stubbornness to follow any instruction. It is good for your free spirit, but as a learner you ought to conform somewhere. 52 meters per second. I am repeating, this is very important. Just getting numerical answer is no answer. See, it's a grave problem actually in practice. In general, people have no perspective about units, so they do not have the common sense. You have no idea at a glance how to express any of these quantities, except maybe time, which you are always thinking of, but mass and length you go haywire and change the units and you are all at sea. Work on it. We are making practicing engineers out of you eventually. Sooner the better, units are important. Okay. Now, if this is the initial mass transfer coefficient, that is at time 0 when the liquid phase has no resistance, we observe this is what the mass transfer coefficient would be if the liquid were to offer resistance, and that resistance would be equivalent of what the gas is offering. So, now tell me what is the equivalent resistance in liquid phase terms for the actual pure gas collisional barrier situation. Can you obtain that? We want the resistance in the gas phase in liquid phase terms. To that end, we obtain this mass transfer coefficient initially. Now, how do I get the resistance from this mass transfer coefficient? Reciprocal. So, equivalent resistance will be 1 by 52. How much is that? Is 0.0192 units. Do not forget the units, seconds per meter. Okay. So far you are with me. This is the quantity we were talking of as RGL. Remember, liquid phase equivalent of initial gas phase resistance. This is what I was calling yesterday RGL. Do you get that? Resistance of the gas phase in liquid phase terms. Now, is that clear to all of you? Is there anybody who has any doubt? Ask even now. In the true picture, at time 0 the gradient is vertical. So, within the liquid there is no resistance, only resistance which is there is in the gas phase. That is what we are measuring in the liquid phase yardstick. Is it clear conceptually? Everyone present? Okay. Any questions? Yeah, speak louder. Initially the concentration drops from Ca0 star to 0 in the liquid vertically. Initially within liquid phase, it is only the interface which is a planar which has saturation concentration. You go 0 distance inside the liquid, the concentration is 0, which means in time in delta z distance which is tending to 0, a finite drop in concentration happens Ca star minus 0. So, finite value of delta C A, C S 0 star minus 0 by delta Z which is tending to 0 will be infinity. No? So, gradient is infinity, therefore, flux is infinity. If the rate is or rate or flux is infinity, that means for finite driving force resistance must be 0. That is it. Clear? Any doubts? Any more? No. Okay. Now, consider the time larger than 0 when the concentration profile is advancing into the liquid. Greater and greater depths are coming into picture. So, greater and greater depth of liquid means greater and greater actual resistance in the liquid. Okay. Can we write an expression for the time dependent resistance in the liquid phase for diffusion? Given the penetration theory, time dependent resistance in the liquid phase based on penetration theory for the liquid. We already have talked of that. According to the penetration theory, this KL is instantaneous is root dA by pi t, right, and KL CA 0 star minus 0, this is the flux which is the driving force which is this CA 0 star minus 0 by resistance. So, clearly this resistance is nothing but reciprocal of KL. I had derived that in words and I told you the resistance is root of pi t by dA. This KL if you plug in here, then reciprocal of that KL will be resistance. So, root pi t by dA is the resistance in the liquid phase, that is your RL. Now, we are talking of any time. For any time we have the resistance as root pi t by dA. So, that is your RL. RL is root of pi t by dA. Agreed? It is changing with time. When will this RGL become 10% of the total resistance? Total resistance will be sum of these two circled parts. RGL, the initial resistance in the gas phase in liquid phase terms, plus the instantaneous resistance in the liquid phase actually present, that is the total resistance. So, this will become 10% of total when this resistance is 9 times that. Now, is that clear? Now, please do the numbers for me, write your steps with units and tell me, everything is calculated for you. Okay? Tell me what is that time, at what time does this RLG become 10% of the total RLG plus RL, and you get 5 minutes for this. You must finish in 5 minutes because for the next 5 minutes I have another problem. So, here is the time limit, quickly all of you without excuse. At the end of 5 minutes, put down your name and entry number on that sheet of paper, tear it off and submit. That was your surprise quiz. Wake up, even if you are not. Okay? I have to invent many things. That is a well mixed reactor for you. Backbenchers are equivalent to the first benchers, all at same level. The answer to this question is in this one word. Where will the disk disappear first? You just have to write air or water. That is the answer. You have to guess and make the answer, right? So, it is a pure intuitive answer I expect you. Yeah, you are guessing, no calculation. The answer is just one word, air or water, that is all.